And welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Madison. This is a community where curious seekers gather to explore spiritual, ethical, and social issues in an accepting and nurturing environment. Unitarian Universalism supports the freedom of conscience of each individual, as together we seek to be a force for good in the world. My name is Kelly Crocker, and on behalf of the congregation, I would like to extend a special welcome to visitors. We are a welcoming congregation, so whoever you are and wherever you are on your life's journey, we celebrate your presence among us. We have one special announcement today, and that is that our peace poles are up and ready to be decorated out along University Bay Drive. There will be a peace pole celebration today out at the poles at 12:30 p.m. This would be a great time to silence any cell phones as we join together in a few moments of silence for contemplation, meditation, prayer, as we become fully present with ourselves and with one another. And I invite you to rise in all the ways we do for our opening hymn, number 1074. reading for our opening words and the lighting of our chalice.
The best spiritual instruction is when you wake up in the morning and say, I wonder what's going to happen today, and then carry that kind of curiosity through your life. Please remain standing for our please join together in the words printed on your order of service. We come together in faith and hope to find what meaning life holds for us, to laugh and sing with one another, to soothe the words of daily life, and to grow together in wisdom and love. Please turn and greet those around you.
We invite anyone who'd like to come up closer for our children's message today to come on up front. Hi. So have any of you ever seen this book? This is a book. It's kind of a mystery, this whole book. And Jenna's going to tell you a little bit of background about the mystery behind it.
So this was written by the author of the book. It says,
It's on. Okay, try it now.
I first saw the drawings in this book a year ago in the home of a man named Peter Wenders. Though Mr. Wenders is retired now, he once worked for a children's book publisher, choosing the stories and pictures that would be turned into books. 30 years ago, a man called at Peter Wenders' office, introducing himself as Harris Burdick. Mr. Burdick explained that he had written 14 stories and had drawn many pictures for each one. He'd brought with him just one drawing from each story to see if Mr. Wenders liked his work. Peter Wenders was fascinated by the drawings. He told Burdick he would like to read the stories that went with them as soon as possible. The artist agreed to bring the stories the next morning. He left 14 drawings with Wenders, but he did not return the next day, or the day after that. Harris Burdick was never heard from again. Over the years, Wenders tried to find out who Burdick was and what had happened to him, but he discovered nothing. To this day, Harris Burdick remains a complete mystery. His disappearance is not the only mystery left behind. What were the stories that went with those drawings? There are some clues. Burdick had written a title and a caption for each picture. When I told Peter Wenders how difficult it was to look at the drawings and their captions without imagining a story, he smiled and left the room. He returned with a dust-covered cardboard box. Inside were dozens of stories, all inspired by the Burdick drawings. They'd been written years ago by Wenders' children and their friends. I spent the rest of my visit reading these stories. They were remarkable, some bizarre, some funny, some downright scary. In the hope that other children will be inspired by them, the Burdick drawings are reproduced here for the first time.
So we picked a couple. And today, Jenna and John are both going to talk about we're talking about getting curious. What does it mean to be curious? What does it mean to be curious? Yeah. Asking a lot of questions. So we're going to show you some pictures, and we want to see if you can think of any questions. This says, "A Strange Day in July" is the title of the picture. And it says, "He threw with all his might, but the third stone came skipping back." What do you think this would be about? What question do you ask when you look at this picture? Yeah. They're skipping stones. That's right. You think it's a little creepy? Is it creepy because the thing, it says that he keeps throwing the stone, and the stone, instead of going plunk, 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 sink, the stone goes plunk, 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 and then plunk, plunk, plunk back to him? Have you ever seen a stone do that? No, me either. An alien stone. It could be, right? That's a strange stone. What else are you curious about in this picture? What do you think? Can you tell the little girl's kind of dressed up? I wonder what they had been doing before they were skipping stones. How about our grown-ups? What do you ask when you see this picture? What do you wonder? Who are they? Where are their parents? These are very good questions. All right, let's take a look at our next one. Jenna, tell them what this one's called.
This is called the third floor bedroom. And it says, it all began when someone left the window open.
So what do you wonder about this picture? It all began. Thea, what do you think? It all began when someone left the window open. My first thought is, what began? What happened when they left the window open? Birds came in. Oh, I love that story. We could do a whole story about the birds who flew in the window. What else could happen with this window left open? Yeah. Oh. The birds came off the wallpaper and flew out the window. I love that story too. You think one of the, oh my goodness, you see that? There is, I don't know if you can see it up on the screen, but there is one bird whose wing is coming off the wallpaper. You see it? Do you have any other ideas about the story? Yeah, what do you think?
A blank spot right here.
Oh, there's a blank spot. Oh, there is a blank spot. Do you think one of the birds already flew away? Wow. Whoa. All right, we have one last one to share with you. This one's called Oscar and Alphonse. What does that say, Jenna?
It says, she knew it was time to send them back. The caterpillar softly wriggled in her hand, spelling out goodbye.
Whoa, so do you see in her hand? There are two caterpillars, and the two caterpillars spelled out the word goodbye. What do you ask or think about this picture? Yeah. How are they spelling out a word with caterpillar bodies? What do you think? Maybe they're scraping inside her hand with their little feet, maybe, to spell it out? What do you think? What else do you wonder about this picture? Yeah. Maybe they're making the letters with their bodies? Oh, yes. Yeah, making it in the air.
I want to know how they know the word goodbye.
How?
Caterpillars.
They're caterpillars. How would caterpillars know the word or know how to spell? You just turned my microphone off, didn't you, Sunshine? Are you telling me it's time to stop talking? Yeah? Is that what you wonder? How long is this going to take? Good job, Thee. Good job, babe. So this book has all kinds of fun pictures. But what Jenna and I really want you to remember from today, time to stop, is that you can be curious about anything, and you can ask questions about anything, and you can tell really good stories, just like you did this morning. So thanks so much for coming up here and helping us think about these stories, and we are now going to have you head off to class.
Hello. My name is John, and I did not get the memo that we are speaking about curiosity. Instead, I am speaking about never giving up. Like that moment when you're leaving from a place that's maybe an hour and 40 minutes away, thinking that you're going to be late because you left 20 minutes later than you expected, thinking you might have to text someone, but you actually found a quicker way to get home. Or finish that assignment that was maybe due a day ago. So when life pushes you down, it can be hard to push back against it. Life can come at you in many ways, always trying to make you stop and try to push you back. Even when you are pushing back, it may seem like you are doing nothing at all. However, you're not. At some of the hardest moments for pushing back, life may seem to let up just a little. This lets you get a chance to fully get back up and take back what is yours. This is why never giving up is important. If you don't stop trying your best, great things can come out of it. Someone who I've known my entire life, is my grandmother. I've spent many days with her, laughing and enjoying life. Right now, she is 71 and is fighting her own struggle of her own. About 5 years ago, on April 1st, my grandmother was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. This shocked our family. Shortly after we found out about this, she went under chemotherapy. She has been under chemotherapy for about 4 years, until the chemotherapy has stopped working for her. As of now, she has decided to go under an experimental treatment called immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is still under progress, and we are not fully sure how it works. However, she has decided to keep fighting. Even when it may seem like cancer will keep pushing her down, She continues to fight back against it, hoping one day that she will defeat it. She is fighting her own battle of her own, always persevering and staying determined and never giving up hope. Those are some things that are important about never giving up. When you fight back, you will continue pushing on and on, always getting closer to some great things that can happen. Thank you.
I cannot begin to quantify how many times I've read the Curious George books to kids in the FUS childcare room. The room has 3 of them, and many kids like to go one after the other, occasionally even asking to repeat the series once we've finished. It's safe to say I know the stories pretty well. Curious George performs a series of well-intended, slightly chaotic activities that lead to an adventure, a lesson, and a reward of some kind. One book features him as the first monkey astronaut for the Science Museum Space Division. George's curiosity is literally his defining characteristic, and the plot of every book is fueled by him wondering about the world and trying to figure it out. In that respect, George might not feel out of place at FUS. This community has instilled a similar sense of curiosity in me. RE classes like Building Bridges and Bibleodian made me wonder about other religions. Mind, Body, Soul, and Coming of Age helped me think about interpersonal relationships and being a Unitarian. Youth group helped me become curious about other UU communities during my time at cons. Board meetings helped me wonder about the church government. All of you out here have helped me wonder too. The words are read aloud at the beginning of every service. Curious seekers gather. There might not be anything that stimulates curiosity more than being around people who wonder about the same and sometimes different things that you do. Next year, I'll still be a curious seeker, just not at FUS. I'm beyond excited to take the sense of wonder and curiosity that my time here has given me and apply it to my time in college, though I plan on being a bit less disruptive than Curious George while doing so. The things I've learned and friends I've made at FUS will stay with me after I leave, and that's because of all of you. Thank you all for teaching me about the 7 principles, about being a Unitarian just by being in the congregation. Thank you, Deb, Linda, Kelly, and Leslie, for all of the fun and encouragement. Thank you, Mom, Dad, and sisters. All of you have helped me grow into the person I am right now, a person who can't wait to take her curiosity out into the world. I would now like to invite you into a participatory activity exploring curiosity. Traditional youth worship is usually very participatory and interactive, with everyone getting involved in some way. So we hope you will all get involved today. We will be projecting some interesting images on the screen behind me, and I ask you to turn to someone near you and together get curious about the image. As you look at it, talk with a neighbor about what arises within you, what questions or thoughts or ideas you might have. Share with someone near you, and I will call you back in a couple of minutes. Like, actually, you can talk to, like, to someone next to you. All right, what do people think? Feel free to shout them out. Any ideas, thoughts? What do people see? A face? Yeah? A blue fish? Yeah. All right, well, this was 1 out of 3. Now we're going to move on to another image. And feel free to discuss again with the same person on your other side. What do you guys see? What are you curious about? All right, any ideas about this one? Thoughts? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. I kind of wonder why it's all blue. All right, and we have one final one. One last image to discuss. All right. Any final thoughts? Curiosities? Right, yeah, it's already outside. What's the sign doing? That's fair. Grandma's house? All right, well, thank you all for participating in our curiosity exercise today. I now invite you into the giving and receiving of today's offering, which goes towards the continued support of our youth programming. We thank you for your generosity.
Today we take a moment to stop and recognize those among us, 3 high school seniors making the transition from youth to young adulthood. We are here to affirm and celebrate all that they have brought to our community and to bestow our blessings on their journey. The bridging ceremony is a rite of passage that welcomes these bright and energetic folks into the rewards and responsibilities of young adult life. The bridge has 2 sides. One is childhood and adolescence, where they have become leaders and role models for their younger friends and acquaintances. The other side is a vast frontier of the unknown, full of boundless opportunities and new challenges. We, the adult members of this church community, stand on this other side, with our arms open to welcome them, our minds prepared to mentor and learn from them, and our hearts prepared to share life together with them. So Jenna and John and Sophia, if you will please come forward. Come on, right up here.
My name is Leslie, and I speak as the voice of Unitarian Universalist Religious Education. We have served you through our religious education classes and our youth program. We have tried to give you the gifts of freedom of thought, loving community, and a sense of justice, and a deep love of this bountiful world. We hope that we have nurtured in you a sense of identity as a Unitarian Universalist and as an engaged citizen in our world community. We hope that you will remember what you have learned and use it to believe in the strength of your spirit and to build a strong and just life.
My name is Ronan, and I speak as the voice of the Unitarian Universalist Youth. We have spent many Sunday evenings together in fellowship and joy, creating memories and great food, new stories, and chalice ornaments. As you leave this community of youth, we hope you remember the gift of listening and the stillness of heart. We hope you keep with you the gift of our laughter and the joy of our songs. May you continue to grow in mind, in spirit, and body, forever our friends, forever in our hearts.
My name is Emily Smith, and I speak as the voice of Unitarian Universalist Young Adults. We welcome the individual gifts of your soul, the hopes you bring, the anxieties we share. We welcome the blessings of your fresh vision and inspiring energy. We represent the promise that there is community on the other side of the bridge. We welcome you into that community in conferences, congregations, and campus ministry programs, wherever you might go. And as the voices of the youth ensure our religion remains ever aware and ever evolving, we remind you that your voice is necessary to our faith. As you join the young adult community, we give you our blessing, that you may find among us friendship and support, yearning and joy.
And my name is Kelly, and I speak as the voice of the Unitarian Universalist Ministry. We served you as we served this congregation that nurtured you and embraced you. We have tried to give you the gifts of roots and wings. We hope that you will treasure what you have gained here and do your part to nurture what we have together. We bless you now with history and leadership. And if all of you will join together in the congregational blessing that is found in your order of service. We speak as the voice of the congregations. We provided for your religious education and youth program, and we cherished your voices in our halls of fellowship. We have tried to give you the gift of a place to belong, a place of friendship and growth. We hope that you know that we are here for you as you travel on your many adventures, and that as you deepen and grow, so too will the tradition that cherishes you. We bless you now with honor for this rite of passage into our wider Unitarian Universalist community. And as Linda gives some gifts to our youth, if you will join us in congratulating them. And I invite you to rise in all the ways we do. Our closing hymn is number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
are all on a journey together to the center of the universe. Look deep into yourself, into another. It is to a center which is everywhere. That is the holy journey. First, you need only look. Notice and honor the radiance of everything about you. Play in this universe. Tend all these shining things around you, the smallest plant, the creatures and objects in your care. Be gentle and nurture. Listen as we experience and accept all that we really are. We grow in care, we begin to embrace others as ourselves, and learn to live as one among many. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of community or the fire of justice. These we hold within us until we gather together again. Blessed be, go in peace, and please be seated for one more gift of music.